Hi guys, so I just wanted to review our work in class on text in motion. We're starting with our new project, and you can go ahead and copy these settings for the next assignment. Go ahead and start a new motion project if you haven't. Just to refresh what we did, I'm going to import a movie from the desktop, and it's called Motion Movie just for this, and just make it a little bit bigger with the Properties tab, scale it up, and you can see right now that we have a movie that's just playing that we captured from the internet of kind of like an overview of a flying through a city. We talked about in class how we trim this movie up in the browser here on the timeline. The way you do it is you select in and out points. Obviously, you could select the movie here and drag it in and out, but you could also use the letter I in and the letter O out to trim a movie up, and that will trim it up, as you can kind of see. We talked about adding the basic behavior fade in, fade out, and how that works. We trimmed the ends to make them longer, you see. That gives us a fade in that's a little softer. And you can also change the fade out to be more frames as well, so it's a slower fade out. And you can use this to crossfade between different pieces of video footage to your heart's content. We talked about trimming the fade in and out and how that's not useful, because what will happen is it'll start and then the fade in will start and it'll pop down to 0 and then it'll go up. So for the fade in, fade out, we want to definitely make sure it aligns perfectly with the clip, and one way to do that is to hold the shift key down, and that will snap it to the ends. If you're not holding the shift key down, you might get really close, but it won't be perfect. So holding the shift key allows that to snap. I'm going to turn off the fade in and out because we're done with it. And now I have this piece of video, and we're going to use this video for this next part. Mostly we talked about text, so I'm going to turn this video off for a moment. And I'm going to open up and make a new group by right-clicking on the space here and creating a new group called text. And now I'm going to get this Siri thing to go away. Now we're going to click on the text tool, and you notice there's text and 3D text, which is normal text. And I'm just going to click in the space once, and this is some text is what I'm going to write. And now I'm going to go back to my move tool, my selection tool, and you can see now we have some text, and a new tab appeared with 3 different sub tabs here that allow us to change different things about this text. I'm going to make this text much larger, as you can kind of see here, and make sure it fits on the screen. And I'm going to use something like impact just to give it more impact, no pun intended here. And what we're going to do with this piece of text, and you can kind of see down here that it starts at a certain point and ends at a certain point, so we're going to just move it or scooch it so it overlaps our movie. In fact, I'm going to hold the shift key down and it'll snap to the beginning of the movie. I'm going to hold the shift key down and move my playhead so it snaps to the end of the movie, and I'm going to select O for out, and then now this text is exactly as long as our movie is for that reason. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our movie, turn it on, turn the group on, select our movie, and right control click or right mouse button click on the movie, and you'll notice that there is add image mask. We're going to select that, and you'll notice when we do that we have this mask source that it's asking for something to be a mask. If I take this text and put it into that source, now you'll notice that that movie is masked by the actual text that we created. And notice also that that text has turned off because it can only have one mask at a time, and now we have this group that we can now move. Now if we move around this group, notice how the text does not move with it. So if we want to modify like how that text is being shown, how the video under the text is being shown, we can actually move the group itself around, but that's not going to move the text. In order to move both of these at the same time, that text file here needs to be in that group. So I'm going to just drag it into this group like that, and now we have a group that holds both the text, as you can see here, and the movie. So when I move that group now, you can see that that movie is playing in the same location, but the group is holding everything. So that's one form of working with text. I'm going to turn that group off, and now we're going to go back to our text group and add some new text. Put my playhead at the beginning, and then I'm going to type something on screen. And what I'd like to do is just go over some of the tools that we have to animate this text. So I'm going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. And the first thing that we talked about are the behaviors for text. We have some text animation behaviors, and the one we talked about in class was type on, but you can see there's lots of different things that you can do with text. And type on works like in the following manner. It's just like the fade in, fade out. It will type on over the period of however long this bar is here, your text on screen. So if I wanted to make this go a little faster, all I need to do is trim that bar in, or select the type on behavior and hit the O button out, right? And now it's a much faster type on, as you can kind of see if I play this. And if you want it even faster, trim it more, O for out, and then it looks like this. Obviously, if you have something type on, I'm going to select my actual type this time, and I'm going to hit the O button, so now it's out. And maybe I'll extend it a little bit. I would like to have it type off as well. So another possibility is text animation, text basic. Let's say arrange out or blur out, or select one of these. Let's try arrange out. Now arrange out starts at the beginning, but we want it to be at the end, so we're going to snap it with the shift key to the end, and then this is what it looks like on the way out. And we can extend that as well to make it go slower, like that. So this is an example of how you would work with a block of text and then animate some of the things on that text. All right, let's try something else. So this is our type on thing. Let's add some more text, but what we're going to do is we're going to allow it to be on a line so that it's curved. Maybe there's an interesting video and you want it to curve around. And the way you do that is we need to start with some type of curve. So I'm going to draw a B-spline curve. I'm going to start here and go here and then click here, and I'm just clicking and say I want the text to do something like to be on this like roller coaster curve. I'm going to hit return to set that curve, turn off the fill, but I'm going to keep the outline for now so I see where it is. Go back to my selection tool under transform, and now if I wanted to move this around, I can. And the next thing I'm going to do is just add text here and type some text on a curve. Great. And then we're going to use the selection tool again. And what I need to do is get this to be on this path. And so we are going to see text on a path. Let's see where that is located. Text basics. Maybe it is in the, oh, it's already in this. It's under the text tab under layout. And under layout, we have the layout method of direction type horizontal, which it is. We can do vertical, as you can kind of see, and now it is in vertical mode, vertical or horizontal. But there's also the type path right here, right? And you can try some of these other things like crawl and scroll, but path is what we want. And you'll notice down here at the bottom of this area, it's like, what's the path shape? Well, we're going to use geometry that we have made. And then it'll say, well, where is that geometry? And we know that we drag that B-spline into this geometry area. Notice how our text is all crushed up here. So let's take our B-spline, drag it into our geometry area, and you notice it now types it onto the path. And obviously we can now go back to the format tab and increase the font size so it fills up the path, or maybe we want to change the spacing or those kinds of things, and all that stuff is available in this area or in the appearance area, one of the two. So let's see if I can find, it's like all caps, we've got rotation, we have offset. Let's see if that allows us to offset it. That does. We can scale things, obviously, in certain directions, or we could just use the size here, and the tracking will be what we're looking for to give us like a fuller, like space more between each one. You can always go back into these things and add a space or something to like really sell it. right? And then now we can make it a little smaller and it's easier to read. When you're happy with what you've got, you can turn off the B-spline, go back to the selection tool, and now we've got the following text. You could add a type on to this as well. Remember, this is happening over this entire course of the event, but we can just hit O here to kind of stop it, and we'll just O here for the B-spline as well. And then we can just add the filter type on for the behavior. Let's try something different like pop in, and then let's see how that works. Looking for, I have to be on the text here, type on, that's our type on. So this text has to be selected, some text on a curve. Let's see, behaviors, let's just do pop. Let's scale in, let's see if that works. It scales in, and you can kind of see how that worked. We can slow it down. I could turn off the other text so you can see how that's working, and then this is the scale in feature, as you can see, and it scales in now on the actual curve. All right, hope this helps. Remember, we talked about compositing different modes, so once you have things that look interesting, try to use compositing with the movies that you bring in. Try different blend modes here so that you get different effects. And good luck with this next project.